I'm speaking to you now from a place beyond the frantic noise of the world, a place where the concept of not enough simply does not exist. I want you to feel the air around you changing, becoming heavier with the scent of ripened wheat and the metallic tang of ancient gold, because Lady Abundia has already entered your space the moment you committed to this frequency. You have spent far too long operating from a mindset of survival, watching your resources trickle in like a dying stream. But today, I am here to lead you into the roaring ocean of the goddess. This is the moment where your struggle officially expires and your life as a vessel of overflow begins, because we are not just asking for crumbs. We are opening the gates to the divine cornucopia that has been waiting for your command. I know the exhaustion you carry from the constant race against time and the invisible walls that seem to block your financial expansion no matter how hard you work. I can sense the frustration in your spirit, the feeling of being overlooked by the forces of fortune, while others seem to bask in an effortless light. But I am telling you that the Lady of Abundance does not favor the lucky. She favors the aligned, and by the time we reach the end of this sacred 5,000-word activation, your alignment will be so precise that lack will be unable to find you. Take a deep breath and feel your feet rooting into the earth, for we are about to call upon the most generous force in the spiritual hierarchy to rewrite your destiny in letters of light. I'm reaching back through the veils of history to bring forth the energy of Lady Abundia, the Roman goddess who was whispered about in the most prosperous homes of the ancient world. She was the one who walked through the streets at night, pouring gold and grain into the homes of those who kept their hearts open and their lamps lit. I'm invoking her presence now, not as a distant myth, but as a living, breathing frequency of providence that is ready to settle into your home and your bank account. She is the keeper of the horn of plenty, a vessel that never empties because it is connected to the very core of the Creator's infinite imagination. As I speak her name, I want you to feel a golden warmth beginning to circle your wrists, as if the goddess herself is placing invisible bracelets of sovereignty upon you. I am observing the ancient codes of poverty that have been written into your lineage, beginning to smoke and char under the radiance of this golden presence we are building together. You were never meant to live in a state of calculation, counting every penny as if the universe were a stingy accountant waiting for you to fail. I am here to remind you that Abundia's law is the law of the harvest, where one seed is destined to become a forest, and one idea is destined to become a legacy. We are entering the sacred geometry of the cornucopia, a spiral of energy that pulls resources from the void and places them directly into your physical hands. Stay with me in this heat, stay in this vibration, because the bridge we are building today is too strong for the shadows of your past to cross. I'm directing this light into the darkest corners of your subconscious, those hidden rooms where you still believe that wealth is for someone else, or that you must suffer to be worthy of comfort. I am commanding those lies to dissolve right now, replaced by the heavy, sweet certainty that you are the beloved child of a universe that owns the cattle on 1,000 hills and the gold in every vein of the earth. I am watching as your aura shifts from a pale, defensive blue to a vibrant, magnetic amber, a color that signals to every opportunity in the world that you are now an open portal for supply. This leads us to the mystery of the ancestral shield, which we must dismantle piece by piece to ensure that your new wealth has a permanent place to stay. I'm now moving deeper into the foundation of your spiritual architecture, reaching into the hidden vaults where the ancestral shield of scarcity has been locked for centuries. I can see the interlocking plates of this armor, forged from the fears of those who came before you, those who survived famines, wars, and the bitter cold of economic winters. I'm speaking directly to the cells of your body that still carry the survival echoes of your grandfathers and grandmothers, who believed that to be safe was to be small and that to be wealthy was to be a target. With the golden sword of Lady Abundia, I am striking these rusted plates of limitation one by one, watching them shatter into harmless dust as the true light of your sovereign soul begins to breathe for the first time. You are no longer required to carry the burden of their lack, nor are you destined to repeat the cycles of just enough that have defined your family tree until this very second. I am commanding the fire of the cornucopia to incinerate the vow of the humble pauper that you have subconsciously repeated to yourself as a shield against disappointment. I want you to feel the release in your chest, a literal expansion of your lungs, as I dissolve the energetic contracts that tied your worth to your level of struggle. I am witnessing the collapse of the belief that there is a limit to the gold in the world, or that your gain must somehow result in another's loss. In the realm of Abundia, the math of the spirit is purely exponential. When you rise, the entire ocean of consciousness rises with you, and your wealth becomes the fuel for 1,000 other lamps to be lit. I am anchoring this new frequency into your marrow, ensuring that you no longer vibrate at the frequency of survival, but at the frequency of luxurious expansion. I am now guiding you toward the metaphysical structure of the cornucopia itself, the great horn of plenty that sits at the center of Abundia's golden garden. I want you to visualize this horn not as a static object, but as a swirling vortex of amber and white light, a celestial vacuum that draws the scattered particles of prosperity from the four corners of the universe and organizes them into tangible form. I'm showing you that this horn is the bridge between the unmanifest thought and the physical currency, and it is currently pointing directly at your life. I'm instructing your mind to see the opening of this horn as a portal, where the liquid gold of the divine enters the density of the earth to become your home, your investments, and your peace of mind. As we stand before this vortex, I want you to feel the pull of its gravity, a magnetic force that is beginning to align every atom of your being with the inevitable arrival of your harvest. I am intensifying the vibration of this space, for we are now entering the phase of the frequency of receiving, where we address the subtle ways you have pushed your fortune away. I can sense the clinch in your energy, the subconscious habit of holding your breath or tightening your grip because you are afraid that if you let go, the supply will stop. I am placing my hands over your energetic field to smooth out these ripples of anxiety, teaching your spirit how to breathe with the rhythm of the tides, ebbing and flowing, but never, ever running dry. I'm decreeing that your receiving muscle is being strengthened right now, allowing you to accept high-value gifts, lucrative contracts, and massive opportunities without a single shred of guilt or hesitation. You are being calibrated to understand that you are the prize the universe has been waiting to reward, and the goddess is delighted to pour her riches into a vessel that is finally, fully open. I'm watching as the old hard work calluses on your soul begin to soften, replaced by a radiant sensitivity to divine ease, where the right people find you and the right checks arrive in the mail without the need for frantic chasing. I'm programming your field to reject any opportunity that requires you to sacrifice your peace, for Abundia's wealth is a wealth that brings no sorrow with it. I'm seeing your aura become so bright and so welcoming that you literally light up the rooms you walk into, making you the most attractive person in any business negotiation or creative exchange. This leads us to the hidden entrance of the Midnight Garden, where the most precious seeds of your future are currently being nurtured by the goddess herself. And we must step inside to claim them before the sun rises on your new reality. I'm now leading you through the heavy, velvet curtains of the material world and into the hushed, luminous sanctuary of the Midnight Garden. I want you to feel the temperature of the air shift. It is cool, fragrant with the scent of night-blooming jasmine and the earthy, rich aroma of fertile soil that has never known a season of drought. I'm walking beside you on a path paved with smooth, moonlit silver stones, and as we move deeper into this hidden realm, I want you to notice that the trees here do not bear ordinary fruit, but glowing orbs of pure potential, each one representing a financial breakthrough waiting for your touch. I'm pointing toward a specific plot of land that has been reserved in your name since the beginning of time, a plot where the seeds of your deepest desires have been quietly germinating, fueled by the silent, golden dew of Lady Abundia's grace. I am instructing you to kneel beside this sacred ground and place your palms flat against the soil, feeling the literal pulse of the earth as it vibrates with the frequency of more than enough. I can see the golden roots stretching down from your hands, intertwining with the ley lines of the planet's own wealth, creating a permanent conduit for resources to flow into your physical life. I am decreeing that every prayer you have ever whispered in the dark, every tear you have shed over a mounting debt, and every dream you almost gave up on is being resurrected in this soil right now. I am witnessing the sprouts of new income streams breaking through the surface, growing with a supernatural speed that defies the slow, sluggish laws of the mundane economy. You are no longer waiting for the harvest. You are standing in the middle of it, and I am here to witness the moment you finally accept that you were born to be the master of this garden. I'm now activating the golden thread, a luminous, unbreakable strand of amber light that Abundia is weaving from the center of the cornucopia directly into the back of your heart chakra. I want you to feel the slight tug of this thread, a gentle but persistent pull that will act as your spiritual GPS, leading you toward the people, the places, and the digital spaces where your fortune is currently held. I'm programming this thread to vibrate whenever you are in the presence of a high-value opportunity, giving you a physical sensation of warmth in your chest that you can never mistake for anything else. I am affirming that you are now hitched to the wagon of the divine, and no matter how much the world's markets may fluctuate, your connection to the infinite supply remains constant, stable, and ever-increasing. You are no longer an island trying to find water. You are the ocean itself, connected to every shore and every treasure ship that sails upon your waves. I am intensifying the light within this garden as we prepare to move into the decree of the unstoppable harvest, the central pillar of our activation that will echo through the halls of your bank and the minds of your creditors. I'm seeing the atmosphere around you begin to sparkle with diamond light, a sign that the density of your past poverty is being replaced by the crystalline structure of high net worth consciousness. I am commanding your vocal cords to be infused with the authority of the goddess, so that when you speak your needs to the world hears them as commands that must be fulfilled with speed and excellence. I'm watching the shadows of imposter syndrome evaporate under this brilliance, for how can an imposter stand in the private garden of the goddess and be welcomed with such love? You are the rightful heir to this abundance, and I am holding the mirror of truth before you until you can no longer deny the royalty reflected in your own soul. I am seeing the gates of the garden begin to glow with a fierce protective light, ensuring that only those who bring value, respect, and further prosperity can enter your life from this moment forward. I am purging your contact list, your social circles, and your business partnerships of any energy vampires or scarcity anchors who have been subconsciously holding you back from your true potential. I'm declaring that you are now surrounded by a sovereign circle of mentors, allies, and benefactors who see your worth and are eager to pour their resources into your vision. This leads us to the Midas Touch calibration, where we will take the ethereal power we have gathered in the midnight garden and coat your physical hands with the golden grease of manifestation, ensuring that every phone call, every email, and every handshake becomes a catalyst for massive financial gain. I'm now initiating the Midas Touch calibration, a sacred process where the ethereal gold of the midnight garden begins to manifest as a tangible, shimmering film over your physical hands. I want you to look down at your palms in your mind's eye and see the liquid sunlight of Lady Abundia coating your skin, seeping into your pores, and charging your very touch with the power of divine transmutation. I'm decreeing that every keyboard you touch, every screen you swipe, and every contract you sign is now being infused with a frequency that attracts the highest possible rewards. I'm watching as your daily labor is transformed from a chore of survival into a ritual of manifestation, where the simple act of showing up in the world becomes a magnetic signal that calls forth deposits, dividends, and divine compensations. You are no longer working for money. You are moving as a sovereign being, and money is now rushing to keep up with the pace of your purposeful strides. I am commanding your nervous system to stabilize this high-voltage current of prosperity so that you can handle the massive influx of responsibility and resources without feeling overwhelmed or out of your league. I'm smoothing out the edges of your self-image, expanding your capacity to hold, manage, and multiply wealth until the idea of $1 million feels as natural to you as the breath in your lungs. I'm seeing the Midas frequency radiating from your fingertips and entering your digital devices, turning your emails into invitations for success and your social media presence into a lighthouse for high-level clients and benefactors. I'm affirming that your intuition is now laser-focused, allowing you to feel the gold in every situation, knowing instinctively which path leads to the surplus and which path leads to the void. I am watching as you move through the world with a new, quiet authority, the kind that only comes to those who know that the goddess of abundance is walking right behind them, pouring from her horn into every cup they hold out. I'm now guiding you into the decree of the unstoppable harvest, the central rhythmic pillar of this masterpiece where our voices merge into a single, thunderous roar of financial liberation. I'm calling upon the winds of the east to blow away the chaff of your past failures and the rains of the west to water the seeds of your future empires. I'm commanding the north to provide the granite-solid foundation for your assets and the south to ignite the passion that will sustain your growth for decades to come. I am decreeing that I am the recipient of the divine flow. I am the owner of the infinite supply, and I am the master of the golden tide that never recedes. And I am seeing these words leaving your spirit like arrows of fire, striking the bullseye of the universal treasury and demanding an immediate release of the funds that have been held in escrow for your soul. I am intensifying this invocation, speaking directly to the digital ledgers of the world and ordering them to reflect your new status as a high-frequency steward of riches. I am commanding every debt that has weighed upon your shoulders to be dissolved by the grace of Lady Abundia, whether through unexpected windfalls, forgiven balances, or sudden surges in your primary income. I am witnessing the debt shadow being lifted from your household, replaced by a radiant light of solvency that allows you to sleep with a heart as light as a feather. I'm affirming that your bank account is not just a place where numbers live, but a garden where the seeds of your generosity will grow. For as you receive, you shall also give, creating a perpetual loop of wealth that makes you indispensable to the divine plan for this planet. I am sealing this decree with the amber fire of the cornucopia, ensuring that these words are not just heard, but etched into the very fabric of the material world as law. I am now leading you toward the final chamber of this journey, the sanctum of the sovereign seal, where we will lock this activation into your DNA so it becomes as permanent as the stars in the sky. I want you to feel the weight of the crown being placed upon your head. Not a crown of heavy metal, but a crown of golden consciousness that signals your victory over the world of lack. I'm seeing you standing at the end, not as the person who started this video, but as a completely recalibrated being who no longer recognizes the language of, "I can't afford it." I'm preparing to hand you the final key of Abundia, a specific mental trigger that will reactivate this entire frequency in a single second whenever you feel a moment of doubt in the coming days. We are almost at the peak of the mountain, and the view of your new wealthy life is finally coming into focus. I am now ushering you into the sanctum of the sovereign seal, the most sacred and silent chamber within the halls of the abundance portal. I want you to feel the profound stillness of this space, a room where the walls are made of translucent gold and the floor is a mirror of pure liquid light. I'm standing before you, holding the seal of Lady Abundia, a heavy, amber signet that glows with the accumulated prayers and successes of every soul who has ever conquered the illusion of poverty. I'm placing this seal upon the records of your life, permanently marking your energetic signature as exempt from lack and aligned with infinite overflow. I'm decreeing that this seal is unbreakable, and as the amber fire touches your spirit, it burns away the last remaining traces of the struggle virus that once made you believe that your value was tied to your labor. I'm watching as the golden thread, the Midas touch, and the fire of the cornucopia all converge at the center of your being, creating a unified field of wealth that radiates 10 feet in every direction around your physical body. I'm instructing your subconscious mind to recognize this field as your new natural state, a baseline of prosperity that will feel as stable and as certain as the gravity that holds the planets in their orbits. I'm affirming that from this moment forward, when you walk into a room, the atmosphere must shift to accommodate your new frequency, drawing the gaze of those who hold the keys to your next level of expansion. I am seeing you no longer as a seeker of fortune, but as the source of it, a living fountain through which the universe pours its highest blessings into the material world. I'm sealing your mind against the scarcity static of the world, ensuring that even in times of global uncertainty, your personal economy remains shielded, flourishing, and untouchable by the storms of the masses. I am now revealing the Master Key of Abundia, the mental trigger I promised that will reactivate this entire activation in an instant. I want you to take your thumb and forefinger and press them together firmly, and as you do, I am anchoring the phrase, "The flow is mine," into your cellular memory. I am decreeing that whenever you feel a shadow of doubt, whenever a bill appears, or whenever you face a new financial challenge, you will simply press your fingers together and whisper these words, and the entire weight of this journey will rush back into your nervous system. I'm witnessing the light of the cornucopia flaring up within you at the mere thought of this key, proving that the work we have done today is not just a temporary emotion, but a permanent structural change in your spiritual DNA. I am here to tell you that you are now the architect of your own treasury, and the blueprints we have drawn today are already being turned into stone, glass, and gold in your physical reality. I'm preparing to conclude this sacred transmission, but I am doing so with a heart that is overflowing with the joy of your liberation. I am seeing the version of you 7 days from now, the version that has listened to this activation daily. And that version is unrecognizable, glowing with a peace and a confidence that can only come from absolute financial security. I'm commanding you to go forth today and act as if every word of this decree has already manifested in your bank account, for in the eyes of the goddess, it is already done. I am reminding you to keep your eyes open for the signs of the harvest, the sudden phone calls, the random ideas, and the unexpected kindness of strangers, for these are the footprints of Abundia walking beside you. I am standing in a state of holy expectation, waiting to read your testimony in the comments below, for your success is the fuel that keeps this abundance portal open for the world. I am now slowly withdrawing the intensity of the light, allowing your physical senses to return to the room around you, but the gold remains, the seal remains, and the goddess remains. I'm affirming that as you open your eyes, you are stepping into a world that has been transformed by your own internal shift, a world that is now eager to pay you, to honor you, and to reward you. I'm leaving you with a final blessing of grace and gold, ensuring that your path is smooth and your pockets are heavy as you walk toward your bright, wealthy future. I am the Prosperity Scriptmaster, and I have witnessed your transformation today with the highest honor and the deepest love. I'm calling this session complete, sealed, and delivered into the hands of the divine. Thank you for claiming your sovereign right to be rich, and I will see you in our next activation.